Last week, I ran a private 2-hour masterclass breaking down the exact outreach system that I used to hit my first 10K month. So in this video, I'm actually going to pull back the curtain, give it to you guys for free on what actually moves the needle. The outreach approach, the positioning shift, the mistakes that most people make that quietly kill their conversion. So instead of trying to grind more or guessing what to post or send, you can actually build trust at scale, book qualified calls, and turn your personal brand into a real revenue generating asset. See you guys there. What I'm going to be going over is, for the first part, I'm going to be explaining the outbound system that I used back in 2025, like last year, in order to get my first 10K months and to get my first few big clients, right? And then ever since then, it's how I was able to continue scaling up the agency and, of course, start out the consulting offer that I have today. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to be going over a Q&A session of course, any questions regarding the outreach method. And then after that, we're going to be going over what problems or bottlenecks you have with your personal brand and how we can potentially give you the exact next step that you need to take in order to scale to the next level. All right, guys. So let's get this started with the 10K outbound system that I had back in 2025. And I've actually fixed this, or I guess revised this in a way where it's applicable to the time we have today. So of course, just to show proof that this actually works, these are a few screenshots, and I also put the equivalent exchange. When it comes to dollars, we have a 1.5K cash collected, 2.9K cash collected, 2.2 cash collected, and 2K cash collected. And all of these are upfront deals. So as some of you guys may know, I run a 10K ticket price. But what we do is actually split that to a 5K, 5K, and a 5K after we're able to actually fulfill for them and get them the cash collected. So these are all upfront payments, guys. So these isn't like a retainer that we're getting every week or like every month. This is something that we got upfront from cold outreach, guys. So the reason why this is the first thing that I want to kind of go over before we go over the personal brand is because outreach is the fastest way and arguably the easiest barrier of entry to land a client in the online space. But the thing is, as time goes, the market becomes more saturated, making outreach less effective since everyone else with a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection can actually do it. So your competitor is basically anyone in the info space or anyone within your niche, because they're capable of actually just sending a DM to anyone, right? And what's stopping them from actually doing it compared to you? So the one thing here is you guys have probably tried a bunch of other methods in order to get clients. So as some of you guys are in the sales industry or have been in the sales industry, and you guys have tried cold calls, and you know how shit these are, right? They have a high rejection rate. They take very long. People hate cold calls. We have people cussing you out the moment you like pick up the moment they pick up your call, and it's associated with being scams. Next, we have, of course, the purely mass cold DMs. You guys have probably tried sending thousands or hundreds of messages every single day. And the thing is, everyone is doing the same thing. And if everyone is doing the same thing, you'll get the same results as everyone else. And the one thing here is, if you truly want to make this your form of client acquisition when it comes to outreach, you need to have insane volume, like thousands of messages a week, and consistently like burning through a bunch of leads, which then builds you a bad reputation. And of course, you're going to need an optimized account to begin with, or else no one is going to reply to you. And of course, once you're at the like 200 per day mark of cold DMs, follow-ups are hard to manage unless you have a CRM backing up all of your cold DM outreach or cold email outreach. You guys will have a hard time actually managing that, because a bunch of leads will start to fall through once you're at like week 2 or week 3. And of course, paid ads. Now, some of you, paid ads is an exceptional thing. It's a wonderful thing to use to supplement your offer and to supplement your top of funnel, right? And of course, retargeting ads to convert. But the thing is, some of you guys may not have a proven offer yet. This also lowers your profit margins. There's a ton of unqualified leads, and it needs a lot of cash flow, which is the main thing that is stopping you guys from actually doing this. And there is no control on who sees the content up to setting up the profile, right, for the ads manager. But the thing is, like, every single method here could potentially work, but it's the ROI from the time that you spend doing it that makes it not really the best thing for you guys to go into, which is why we have the high value outreach. This provides actual value. You have a higher response rate. There's no cash or capital needed upfront. You can make it work with zero cash as long as you have a laptop and Wi-Fi connection. It's easier to reach people even with a large following. And alongside this visually explains the process, which nurtures and builds credibility. And of course, it's incredibly personalized. And the one thing here is competitors can copy you because it's unique to you. Whichever magnet that you plan to use on your outreach, it is bespoke to your offer and how you do things. Because the thing is, outreach is no longer just a volume game. In order to succeed with outreach, you need to be different, right? I'm pretty sure some of you guys, if you go ahead into your Instagram and you check your message requests, you probably have like a few people on there. And there's a reason you didn't reply to them. It's because they're no different. They're just another guy trying to outreach, trying to get money off of you, which is why if you do it yourself, what makes you think that you're different from them, right? And that's the one thing that you guys should have when it comes to doing outreach or doing anything in the info space to begin with. Because out of thousands of people in the message request, what pushes them to reply to you specifically? Which means don't be these guys. And the thing is, I respect the hustle, right? I have been in the trenches. I'm still technically am, I guess. I'm not in the 100K per month yet. But don't be these guys, man. Like, these guys would send a bunch of copy paste messages, and we're actually going to go ahead and look at the problems that they had when they did outreach towards me. So one big thing is they already have like a low follower count. The only guy who has a decent following was the guy with 209 followers, and even then he didn't really have a value proposition when he first outreached me. What he did is, my name is so and so, I am a video editor and I saw your videos, and his value prop is, I think I can edit them better. Imagine telling a content agency owner that you can edit their videos better. Like, that is what his value proposition to me was. And then he just asked, mind if I send my portfolio? Some of these guys are just straight up PO with a 26 follower account. Like, no one's gonna reply to these guys because just because they sent out a message to you, right? And that's the thing. And the reason I'm putting these guys on blast is because a year ago I was actually in their exact same position, man. I actually had, this is a funny story. This is the first time I'm ever telling this. I actually had a guy put me on their YouTube video going over what a bad outreach looks like. Like, bro, that is wild, man. How cold outreach DMs built my entire online business, and you just have me on the shitty outreach example. And to be fair, I look now, it is shit. Like, I had no idea how to do outreach. I had no idea how to do this, and it was like, seeing it now, it's like it makes me laugh because that's just it. When you don't have the guidance and you don't know what the right thing to do is, you end up getting on a YouTube page like this. I got cooked, man. I truly got cooked, bro. And actually got put on blast for my horrible as fuck outreach when I first started. The thing is, to be fair, he did give like some pretty good feedback that I used to improve my outreach over time, which was great. But the thing is, if you guys don't want to get put on a YouTube video like this, then you guys should start listening up and actually putting in some notes. So this was the old method that worked back in 2020, 2021, maybe a bit like 2025. Like, it would still get some results. And it's this type of outreach. It's, hey, Melvin, I recently helped a client scale from 7K to 80K in 30 days with his content agency. So it's very specific to me as his ICP. He recorded a quick video walking through the system, and do you want me to send it over? And he's actually consistent with his follow-ups, right? Has an unoptimized account. He has a check mark. Basically, to the normal guy, you would typically reply to this if you got this message way back then, right? But the thing is, when we tried running this, and very recently when we tried to keep doing this outreach, we got crickets, man. No replies, no anything. And it was just like mass DMs of this. Even though we had the expertise, we had the social proof, we had an entire system built out and a team behind it, it still did not convert because people are more sophisticated. We are at the level 5 sophistication within the market. People are so skeptical with all of the scandals and the scams happening right now. You need to build genuine trust with your prospects before you even decide to pitch to them. And that's the one thing that we'll be going over through this, through this webinar. And it's the method of the 10K outbound systems, and it's updated in a way that works in 2026. So step one, as you all know, it's to scrape your leads. You guys can just use Growman or IG email extractor. Simply, it's just a extension that you can add to Opera, to Google, or to Safari, whichever one you use. Then you use it to scrape people in your niche's following list, not the follower list. And people in the same niche are typically connected to each other. And this falls under the rule of the 6 degrees of separation theory, where the idea that all 6 people or all people are 6 or fewer social connections away from each other, right? So chances are the person in the info space, like the big guy, is just a few connections away. Like, for example, as Jiro just went over today, he's actually the guy behind Serge Gatari. He's the guy who helped Muhiz. He's the guy who helped Joshua Agbisit. He's the guy who helped Ibrahim, or is at least friends with all of these guys. And I now have at least a gateway there, or I know a guy who knows a guy through Jiro. And that's just how it is. And now at this point, you guys know me, and then I know Jerome, and then Jerome knows them. And that's just the idea of the 6 degrees of separation theory. Basically, from the list that you scrape, lightly qualify the people who would benefit from your offer. Then you continue scraping from the people that you qualify until you have a list of 100 to 500 contacts. This is the very basics, but I just wanted to go over this for, for anyone who is here who hasn't tried this out yet. Like if you are manually trying to scrape your leads and put it into an Excel file, you are cooked, man. That'll take you hours and hours and hours before you even send your first message. So you start with your IG email extractor. Next, you then create your custom lead magnet and launch your outreach. Now, depending on your offer, you can pitch them a free lead magnet that showcases your skill or capability with no risk to them, right? The main thing is when people try to pitch to you at the first message, the one thing you're thinking is, I do not trust you. I have not personally seen your results, so I do not want to risk anything working with you. And the main thing that you can do here is actually provide so much value with the first message or with the first lead magnet, first touch that you have with them, that you're able to actually build the trust and authority that was missing from a cold outreach. So this is essentially what we did in order to build trust and authority with the prospects we had way back then, like a year ago, despite me not having the best account or the best team or the best like case studies to actually leverage, because showing them what I'm capable of through a funnel audit or content audit, an automation of sorts, a script and a free edit, just something that proves their offer up front while building goodwill and rapport. So some of you guys might be in the sales industry. One thing that I've heard work pretty well is they ask, how much is a lead, and I'll pay you for every lead I don't close. That is an insane offer. That is a risk reversal offer that allows you to get your foot into the door, show your skill, and then you can continue working with them. That is like a very ballsy offer. But the thing is, if you have the expertise and you have the skills to back it up, then that's something that you can even go as far to offer, man. And that is one of the few ways that you're able to build the trust and build the authority with these people without putting them at risk, and you're able to actually get your foot in the door. And that's the main thing. You need to get your foot into the door with these types of outreach. Now, this is what I did way back then. I would create a custom loom for every single guy that I would outreach to. Like this was just a month ago, I think. Oh no, never mind. This was like I just took the screenshot from like an old Mario board, and when I took the screenshot, this was a month ago. And this is insane, man. Like I would spend like an hour to 2 hours a day just doing Loom outreach, breaking down their funnel and seeing your click-through rate is shit, fix it through this. Your retention rate is shit, fix it through this. You should fix this. Your lead magnets are unoptimized, do this. And just showing them like you are missing out on money without working because you're not working with me, because you don't have me on your team. And having that FOMO and of course that value given to them upfront, that is the foot in the door skill that you need to build, especially if you're just starting out. Like these were the trenches, man. And I know some of you are hearing this and like, I do not want to deal with that. Like I do not want to spend the time to actually sit down, look at their funnel, study it, and create a loom out of it. But the thing is, if you're not willing to actually put in the work, considering the position that some of you guys are in, like you guys haven't even been like 3 or 6 months into the info space or the business. And that is why you guys need to be able to actually have the grit and the skill to back up what you're trying to claim. Because a no-brainer offer, like, oh, I'll get you to 10K per month in 3 months through working with us. Like a no-brainer offer no longer works this time, right? What you need is genuine skill to be able to fulfill for your clients. And this is one of the ways that you're able to show that you actually have the skill to back up the offer that you're trying to say. So I actually have a much more recent example over here, and they were granted to be an inbound, but we still created a custom loom breaking down their funnel because we saw that they were a good prospect. They were willing to actually work with us, and they asked for it upfront. And after going through like just the loom breakdown, I'm going to show you what the response was like after actually putting in the work to create this funnel breakdown. So the thing is, you guys actually have 2 paths that you can go down on. And some of you guys have heard me say it's either Dream 100 or Evergreen Loom videos or Evergreen magnets. So the path to do this is to actually either one, you pick the top 100 people that you would absolutely love to work with and create a custom lead magnet for every prospect. That is what I did way back then when I would create like a custom loom for each and every single person. The only problem I did back then was I did it to everyone because that was just how hungry I was back then. Like I really wanted to make that bread, bruh. I was like in the trenches. Like, I do not care if you're a Dream 100 or just another prospect. I will create a funnel breakdown for you. And that was what I did way back then to really get a client. But the thing is, if you're gonna do Dream 100 and you're actually gonna look at the people you genuinely want to work with, then that allows you to actually put in the time and effort because shit, this is a guy that I would kill to have as a client. And you guys should actually show that within the loop, right? And what this does is the pros here are there is a much higher open rate, there's a better reply rate, and chances are if they watch the loom and you actually provided value, there's a good close rate there as well. Also, there's less volume needed. Honestly, you can get away with 5 looms per day because compounding in within a month's time, that's at least like a couple hundred, and the prospects are value aligned, right? Because you actually pick them out instead of just having a lead scraper and then like, oh, as long as you're a coach, I'm down to work with you, right? So that's the benefit of Dream 100. The cons here is obviously, since you'll be the one creating the looms and you'll be doing it each and every step, like it will take more of your time and you cannot delegate it. So these are the pros and cons of Dream 100. Then the other method is the evergreen magnets. Okay, so evergreen magnets. This is where we started switching from my time as a founder to just on outreach, and I started switching to the fulfillment side once we had the clients in. And what we did was we created 1 to 4 evergreen magnets that cover different problems your ICP may be facing. So since a lot of you have content offers, one thing could be if you see that their problem is lead flow, you have a specific loom for lead flow. If it's the conversion rate that they have, then have a specific loom for the conversion rate or their monetization. If it's the show up rate, like no one's going to their calls, give them an email sequence that can help boost their show up rate. If it's their close rate, give them a specific like pre-selling asset that they could create to then increase the close rate. Like there are so many problems that your clients can potentially face, and if you solve even just one of those problems within the loom, you are already in a good position to close them, right? As long as it actually provides the genuine value. That's the thing. That is the main caveat here. You need to provide genuine value. And the benefit of the evergreen magnets is if you can train up a guy to actually look at what the problem is, it can be delegated and it takes less of your time as a founder. Because once you have the evergreen magnets, you can just keep running that same magnet to them, that same loop. But the cons are here, of course, you're going to need to do more volume. There's going to be a lower open rate and a reply rate, and prospects aren't always value aligned because the main thing here is you're trying to get a larger TAM, and because of that, not everyone is going to be aligned with you. So depending on whichever one you pick, personally, if you guys are really starting out, I suggest you guys do the Dream 100. But if you have like a few clients already on board, you have some pretty good case studies, you have some pretty good results, and you actually have a setter, or you can pay for a setter to work under you, then I suggest you guys run evergreen magnets. So depending on whichever method you want to use for your outreach, you then create the medium of the outreach. So in this scenario, let's use a Loom video breaking down their content and funnel through an audit. So this is the evergreen Loom video that I created. This is basically, this goes over what my offer does from the top of funnel, middle funnel, and the bottom funnel. And it's a funnel breakdown on how they can potentially implement it to fix their specific problem. And what I do is within the DM, I tell them what specific part between the 3 parts of the funnel that they should focus on. And as you can see here, it already has like 26 views. Like we have sent this to a bunch of other people and they can see that it's been used over and over again. But the value in the Loom is so good. And of course, the authority that I have within my own content, within my Instagram, within the people that follow me and everything, like I have an optimized account to actually run something like this. And the thing is, once you guys have this medium of outreach down and created, you can then start using that as the method for you to get your clients. And then step 2, once you actually have that lead magnet, there's this new thing where you use a Gamma doc as your custom landing page for every prospect that you outreach to. So the problem was a year ago, or even like just 3 months ago, you would send just the Loom video and then you would wait for a response for them to, say that the Loom is good. You then send the booking link, and it takes a while for you to actually like get them booked in and for them to see the results, for them to get nurtured. But the new method today is to actually put that into a Gamma document that will serve as a landing page. So I'll show you guys, as you can see here, we have the Loom video embedded. We have the headline offer, as well as the sub offer alongside the headline. And then we just put for whoever we're gonna outreach to. So for Joshua, or for Matt, for Jerome, for JJ, right? And then from there, the next thing is client outcomes. Like what have you done for your clients, and what are the results that you have gotten. Next, from there, you show them what the problem is. Now, ideally, you make this specific to them. So instead of the market problem, you tell them their specific problem that they are facing within the Gamma document. And then how the system works, it's basically just a quick rundown, like a 3 or 4 step of how you do things. And then who this is for, who this is not for. Who is your ICP, then who is this not right for. And then lastly, we'll just go over why content fails for most founders. This is to just pre-handle any objections and what makes us different. What is your USP? What is your unique selling point that you have within your offer? And the thing is, if they're so nurtured and they love the Loom video, they just book in. Like after seeing all of this value packed into one link that you sent to them, these people just book in. Like I've had a call a few hours ago, just talking to another guy who has a consulting offer, and basically we're set up for another call, and it's just a 2 call close, and I can run with them. And that is like the power of doing this type of outreach, where you're actually putting in the effort for each prospect that comes into your pipeline. And then the thing here is, you shouldn't think that just because you're putting all of this effort that you should be chasing every single prospect. The goal here is to have a mindset of genuinely wanting to help these people. And once you have that frame of mindset, it's easier to actually start providing them the value that they inevitably need for their offer. And the step 3, basically once you have the medium of outreach, you have your leads ready, it's actually optimize your account and just aim for getting your foot into the door. So you guys can take either me or Jerome as an example. If you guys can pay for like the check mark, it's like a few dollars, it's like a few pesos if you're Filipino. It helps with the reply rates. Like it genuinely helps with the reply rates. And then you just put what you do, what you're building, and then basically like within here, I have all of my social proof, and of course my YouTube. And then for Jerome, it's quite the same thing. He has his tagline, which is the only Jerome in the world. Google it. He builds personal brands for 6 to 8 figure entrepreneurs. He has consulted, so a form of social proof. And then what is his community called? And then this link is basically just to his YouTube. And of course, have a clean profile picture. You guys already know that. Like these are very basic stuff, but if you don't have it implemented yet, then you're already missing out on a ton of reply rates that you should have been getting. So if there's one tip that I can give, aside from just optimizing your account, it's to act human. And not even act human, just be human, guys. Like seriously, just treat them like a human being and not just a quick paycheck. Because people will smell that on you. They will see that within your message. And the more that I shifted to a more human-like approach, where it's like just me genuinely wanting to connect with that guy, the easier it is to book them into a call. Shocking, right? But the thing is, we have gotten so used to just shoving down results to people's faces and expect them to buy. Like, oh, I have the proof for it. Why not buy, man? That's not how it works this time. Like the info space is no longer impressed by results, but it's actual genuine fulfillment and like an actual good system for you to run. So if you come from a place of genuinely wanting to serve, knowing that your offer could help them, it will completely shift your perspective and performance from the outreach down to the sales call. And I'll give this guy, basically the guy earlier, as an example. Like I went ahead and said, yo, your content's still pretty locked in, even if you're busy, not gonna lie. But basically he said like he was too busy to actually create the content. This was like the first DM I sent. And then he said like, haha, I appreciate that, but I wish I could spend more time on it. Gonna start focusing more on YouTube, which is my exact area of expertise. And I said, that's okay, better play, especially if you have a B2B audience, which he does. Then what formats is he gonna run? Just to like get a bit more information from him. But of course, like help him out along the process. So after we did a bit of back and forth, they eventually wanted to actually have me do the funnel breakdown. Like they were the one who asked me to do it. I didn't even have to just send it to them. So basically, like we just kept talking. What kind of videos do you make? I said I do more document breakdowns, my roles presentations, some talking head. Then I'm like genuinely explaining I hate talking head. It's like the most exhausting thing for me. So I minimize doing them unless I run it unscripted. And it's like, haha, got you, bro. Yeah, the funnel makes sense, which is like I give them a bit of sauce here. We tried it, but I guess our content wasn't good enough. And then from there, they just started sending their YouTube account and their Instagram account. They're like, if you have some time, could you take a quick look and let me know where we're going wrong? Like they already see me as an authority, but I didn't come here going and like buy my shit, bro. And that's just it, man. Like you don't need to go into your first message and be like, oh, I have the results, buy my shit. No. Like info has changed and you guys should adapt the same way. And honestly, if you have a really good fulfillment and you know your shit, then you shouldn't be worried about the shift. You should actually be more happy that things are like this, because people who are trying to fake it and just trying to get a quick buck from the info space, they're not going to last. But if you have genuine fulfillment and you genuinely want to help people, then you are going to win in info and you're going to win in business in general. I think Carl just asked, do you have a link for Gamma? I'm actually going to send the Gamma link to everyone in the DMs. Like, as long as you guys put me up on your story, like me and Jerove, like on this group called, tag us, and then from there we can just DM and I'll send you the links there. Right? I'll send it through the Instagram. But basically, like this entire process of the DM setting, it felt very natural for us. And by the time I sent the Loom, this is literally like just this week, they said, I love the Loom, by the way, really in depth. I appreciate it. Top of funnel content is for sure a priority of ours moving forward. And then it was just like, yada, 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 book them in. And we had a call earlier. We're going to have another call coming next week. And then from there, I can potentially close them. And, you know, just because like we have genuine alignment, it was a really good call. The thing is, if I can play the Fathom recording right now, you guys can see we were just laughing. We were just like having a good time. And it didn't feel like a sales call. And I've started doing this more often, especially with people that I feel genuinely aligned with, because it's much easier to work with these guys if they genuinely vibe with your personality. And the more I run my sales calls in a way that they're just another buddy of mine and I'm trying to help them out, it's actually easier to close them. Funny enough, instead of like going through the whole, how does this impact you? How do you feel after? Like, that's well and good. Like, I genuinely think that learning sales is a good skill. But I think the better path is honestly to just come from a place of genuinely wanting to help them. And after like showing this example, I'm going to show like a few here. The DM sequence that worked for me was this. Like, I had a guy, like, they're launching their program and then they don't want to outsource their work for it. I'm trying to prioritize one-on-ones and I don't want to burn out before my launch, but that may be a limiting belief. And basically, like I said, like prioritizing fulfillment is big. Like, that's my whole thing. And I was honestly the same. Like, I burnt out with content. I stopped for a few months. And then we just kept talking from there. Like, have you burnt out from content before? And then we switched into voice notes. Like, voice notes is one of the most powerful things you can do when it comes to IG DMs, because people think that you're just another setter. You're just another guy who was outsourced the task of talking to them. So if you guys can start ripping voice notes within your outreach, and even with just like your setting, it would also do you guys better. Like, I'm not a voice note guy, but I've been trying to do it more because it just shows more of my tone, more of my personality, and I'm able to connect with the guy much easier. Then this was the one that worked for me, and then the DM sequence that worked on me, right? So, yo, what's good? They basically asked like what I do. I said I run an agency, and then they said, nice man, looks like you're killing it, contents class. How's that going, bro? This felt very salesy at the time. I was like, yeah, this guy just wants me as a client. But then after that, he went straight into it. Not sure if we got this, but I'll cut to the chase. Looks like you're killing it. But if you could benefit, right? He framed it to what exactly am I getting out of working with this guy? If you could benefit from an accountant to restructure your taxes to have you paying virtually zero tax. I specialize in tax planning and offshoring. Other money to be saved, let me know. Right? And I just have him blurred out. But basically, this guy showed his value up front. And he was basically like, if you want the free if you want me to do a free tax audit of what you're currently doing and how much you could potentially save, why don't we hop on a call? Like, nobody, no CPA or no accountant would just do like a free consultation with you. But this guy is willing to do that up front. And that's what got me to reply. It was like, yo, my bad, bro. You got a bit dumped. And then we just kept talking and we were like, you know what? Let's look back in a few months. And then I can actually have you like look at my shit. And these are just like some examples of framing it in a way where what is the value to the prospect that you're outreaching to? And do you genuinely want to help them? And of course, like, is there a connection or do you genuinely trust this person? And that's just it, man. Like, the two things that you just need to fulfill is trust and authority. Do they trust you? And do they believe that you can get them to where you say you can get them, right? And once you have both the DM setting and of course all of the process dialed in, the one thing that a lot of people are missing out on is to track every piece of data. Outbound, like many other things in business, is a numbers game. So if you don't track it, you're already missing out 50% of the puzzle. So once again, last year when we were doing, or when I was doing a bunch of Loom outreach, like as you can see here, every single link here is different, bro. I was sending a custom Loom to every prospect back in like June of last year. And I would track all of the data on where I sent it. Did I send it through an IGDM? Did I send it through their mail? When was the loom sent? Did they see the loom? Did they reply to that? Did they book? When did they book for? And did they close them? And as you can see here, we have their first name, their full name, their public email. We have the data of the loom to view ratio, the view to reply, down to the close rate. And from these numbers, you can tell like how many looms do I need to send? I just need to send 348 looms. I get to 20K per month. That's just it. Like having the numbers and the full clarity on, okay, people aren't exactly viewing my looms. How can I fix that? And from there, we created another document that does our follow-ups, right? We did the follow-ups down to like, this was down to the 7th follow-up, because we wouldn't have known that we should start doubling down on the follow-up because we wouldn't see the view ratio. So again, I'm gonna send this. I'm actually gonna send this. This is so much sauce. I should low-key keep this to the guys who paid for the program, but just because you guys are here, like again, I'm gonna send this to your IG DMs of this template on
Nah, bro.
Zoom, bro. Yeah, you guys can, and that's just how insane, like, the systems we ran back then. And I know, like, hearing this right now, it's like, fuck, man, that's so much work. That's just how the game is played, guys. Like, if you're not in the position of, like, Jerome didn't get to his position just by like slacking off. He actually grinded his shit. Like you guys saw on the video earlier, he went from exactly like what can be tracked, it can't be measured. Like what Jerome did back then, he went from having like his life figured out to down to rock bottom. He went homeless, guys. And then he just kept grinding his way back up, man. Like that's not something that you can complete like easily do, man. So if you guys don't really have the grit, then honestly, I might just say it out loud, like this might not be for you. Like if you're hearing this, and there's two things, like hearing this right now, you guys are thinking two things. You guys are thinking, fuck man, that's a lot of work. Or fuck man, I can't believe I'm getting all of this value. I can't believe I'm getting the gamma link. And then from there, like, I can't wait to rip. Like after this call, I can't wait to actually get on Loom and record the videos. That is what separates someone who will succeed from this and someone who will get off of info 3 months from now. I'm saying this right now, like everyone on this call, man. Everyone who's thinking, I can't wait to get off this call and start ripping the content. I can start ripping the outreach as well. Like if you're not pumped up, then I'm not sure if this is for you guys. I suggest you guys really sit down and make sure that this is for you guys. So that's the entire system, man. But here's the thing I really want to kind of focus on and end off on. The thing is, the highest leverage lever that you can pull to start landing clients easier, right? Not clients quicker, but easier, is to start building your personal brand. Okay. And the thing is, people think that the only purpose of a personal brand is for the business to get inbound leads, but they forget to consider every other benefit that it gives. I focused on specifically like business impact. It amplifies the open and reply rate over your outreach. Like Jerome, a few days ago, we were talking about this, and he was like, he sent a message saying, "Yo, G." He got replied to, and the guy's like about to close a few days. Like he genuinely got a client by sending Yo, G as his first outreach. But the thing is, that's because he has a good personal brand. And it also amplifies your CPC, or your cost per click, if you start running ads. You have a higher authority, which allows you to charge higher compared to your competitors. You have more trust with your prospect, meaning that the sales calls are easier, you don't have any objections, and they just like start piffing there. And of course, it creates business connections like the ones that you have made today, all by putting your name out there. So here's the thing, I suggest you guys run the outreach, but do not sleep on your personal brand. Like the shift that I have gotten as well, the moment I started like really doubling down on the personal brand, doing more intentional content, and actually like providing real value as well. Like that's just the bottom line, bro. Providing real value within the content, and the people will resonate with that. The people will see that, and they'll be like, okay, man, like I want to work with you. You are the type of guy I really resonate with, and I want to do business with, because that's the difference of just being another DM, right? Just being basically the Melvin from 6 months ago who was sending a bunch of copy-paste DMs and getting blasted on a YouTube video to the guy now. It's a personal brand. That's like the main difference, man. Yeah, buy a suit, drink matcha, and put the work in, bro. Just put the work in. So that's basically it. That's like the entire system that I used, and of course adjusted in a way to where you guys will succeed with outreach in 2026. And I'm telling you guys, if you guys rip like even 5 looms a day with these systems in place, I'm sure you guys will get your first client within the next 1 to 2 months. Like as long as you guys keep running the outreach and you actually put in the work. So that's basically it. Like I'm not gonna like drag this on longer because we have like another portion for like your Q&A. So yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding what I just went through, regarding the outreach, regarding building a personal brand, regarding, you know, even like scaling a content agency, I feel like Jerome can give a lot of good tips of scaling a content agency, seeing as he scaled his to like 60K per month. And yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and open your mic or even raise your hand, and then we'll go ahead and help you guys.